A Lagos-based legal practitioner, Barrister Adesina Ogulona, has reacted to Pastor Tunde's Bakare's praise singing of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Please note that I'm not Asiwaju's brand manager and definitely do not endorse everything you might have read about his present or his past or his lifestyle, his politics or his businesses. His spokesman can do that for him. All I know is that just as every saint has a past, every sinner has a future, and the best of men are still men at the very best. Frankly speaking, I'm not very sure that many of his trade users would have survived if they had gone through the vicissitude of life that Asiwaju Bola Tinubu went through.
Barrister Ogulona said it is ridiculous and very inconsistent for Tunde Bakare to begin to sing and drum support for Bola Tinubu, a man he has always castigated. Speaking further, the legal practitioner advised the man of God to stop jumping from pillar to post, that Bakare should choose either he remains a clergy or become a politician. He said there is no room for comparison between Tinubu and Jephthah in the Bible. Recall that Bakare had dabbed into politics some years back, contesting alongside President Buhari under the Congress for Progressive Change, after which he claimed that he will become the next president after Buhari.
Bakare is a pastor, but he's also a politician. And even though he's fairly old, I think in the mid-60s or so, he's a rather excitable person. Excitable, given to fanciful ideas, and how will I say it now? And giving prophecies. Is not famous for giving accurate predictions or prophecies. Many of the things we say never came to pass. But I must say this: he is entitled to his opinion at any given time. The only challenge is when you are self-opinionated and you are rather cacophonous and abusive to boot. You have to take heed that your position or your views are consistent. I think that is the problem. Your views are consistent and logical. Like you said, if he was never a fan of Tinubu, and whom he had severely castigated before as part of the problem of the country, part of the rot in the system, to use his own language, and that he alluded to him in another statement that he was pretending to be a modern-day Awolowo, but lacking the capacity and lacking the integrity of Awolowo. And so, turning around now and begin to sing his praises does not illustrate consistency. If you say you condemn, in fact, if you listen to that his speech, or do we say preaching now, because it was on the altar and the pulpit, he was wearing the toga of a clergyman, but he turned into a kind of a soapbox advertisement or rally for Tinubu. Well, he's within his rights in that regard. It is his church, it is his pulpit, it is his altar, and it was his congregation was addressing, but of course it was televised so people could see it. Now, the point is that you find out in that particular speech, even as he was praising Tinubu, he said, well, that does not mean he approved of all the things he has done and all that. But it's interestingly, he likened the Tinubu to Jephthah, a character in the Bible. And it was a very wrong comparison, very, very wrong, at best, barely tangential. The Jephthah of the Bible was a castaway bastard, was a bastard. He was rejected by his kinsmen, but Jephthah went on to be a valiant man. And so when his kinsmen were in trouble, they recalled him. And how would that pertain to Tinubu? Is Tinubu a bastard? And then was he cast away? Was he cast away, whether in Lagos or Iragbeji? And apart from that, were his kinsmen, the kinsmen of Jephthah, were the one who went out to search for him, looking for his help. In this case, it is Tinubu that is seeking relevance, seeking office, neither in Lagos, neither in Iragbeji, or in the entirety of the Yoruba land, are people now coming to beg Tinubu to say, come and help us out. Is Tinubu who is continuing his political career, an aspiration of wanting to become the president of the country. So you find out that the comparison or the allusion does not match. And what you find is a lot of extrapolation or exaggeration, or to use our local language parlance, join. We're just trying to do join to the answer. And so you find out that for a person who, even you yourself identify as a man of God, as a clergy, and is it this kind of flip-flop, where incidentally your station is called Flip TV. So probably is a patron or a board member of your TV.
No, sir.
It was just flopping. And I would like to remind you also that there was a man who said he's the one who is going to succeed Buhari, that Buhari is number 15 in the line of whatever in Nigeria, and that Tunde Bakare is number 16, and that he didn't contest in 2016, 2015, or 2019 because Buhari was still entitled to run. And so now that 2023 will come, it is a bit paradoxical, if not indeed strange, that somebody who has identified himself so eloquently before the congregation and so boisterously, you know, the way he speaks, this way of speaking and using biblical allusions and metaphorisms. Oh, this day, or for this purpose, I was brought up. Oh, this, I never said this to you before, but they are making manifest. For this problem, note it. Buhari is number 15, and after him is me, yours truly, Tunde Bakare. Suddenly now, where does Mr. Tinubu or Chief Tinubu or Jagaban Tinubu or Asiwaju Tinubu, how does he now come into the play? Or is it that Tinubu is 15 and a half? And you know, you can have 15A, you can have 15B, you can have 15C, you can have 15D. So maybe, you know, because all these things, that's the inconsistency that we point out. But more importantly, for me, as an analyst, is that a person can change his view. Like Saul, the apostle, became Paul. Saul, the heretic, the Christian killer, the Christian chaser, became Paul, the evangelist. But he had good reasons. He said he saw a vision and he was converted. Bakare is here to tell us his flash of inspiration, his point of conversion, where he saw the illumination from on high, which has persuaded him now that Tinubu is now worthy of his veneration and all that kind of a thing. So if he gave a concrete evidence, why Tinubu is now good and worthy and all that, that would say, we can now reason. But to just glibly say God does not need anybody to put Tinubu in the hall of fame, that's just mere sophistry. God does not need anybody, but God uses men. Yes. He doesn't need, he uses circumstances, he uses human beings. God is not going to vote. God is not going to do swearing. God is not going to canvass elections. God is never going to do all that, but he used human beings. You understand? So I think this gentleman was just abusing his privilege as a pastor, or that he created an altar for himself, and then he was talking to an enraptured, uncritical audience. Unfortunately, if it's limited to church members, there will be no problem. Even though I know that we some sensible, critical minds in that congregation will be asking questions. But this thing was telecast out, and people like us saw it and said, no. You can't get away with this kind of a thing. Now, tomorrow again, this is how this gentleman was talking something about Obasanjo and King Haggard. He liked to bring that Obasanjo, is there nobody in this man's house that Obasanjo would die before he was sworn in and all that? Obasanjo is still alive. It's still there, can't we? I don't think Bakare should be treated as a serious, I think it's more or less self-delusional. So it could be brilliant, and it's a successful man. It's not easy to build up a church and all that. It's a formal achievement, but I think that's a problem. You want to be a politician, be a politician. You want to be a pastor, be a pastor. Not trying to wear two hats on one single stage. It was just simply plain politics. This is the kind of a situation that a smart aleck finds himself. You know, when you are so brilliant, you are doing a Maradona, you end up dribbling yourself and scoring a goal against yourself. When you are too smart, you end up being clever by half. You are not the brand manager, but what have you done? What have you done? What have you done? And, you know, he was trying to be clever by half. You know, many years ago, he had a situation that I witnessed in the secondary school when we are rather young. I think this happened like 78 or 79. I was in the body house. So my dad brought for me a soup of pork, pig meat, inside sauce and everything. So as boys, you know, we want to eat together. One of us, I still remember his name. His name is Sikiru. He wanted to eat, but he's a Muslim. A Muslim cannot eat pork meat now. But Sikiru said, no, I won't eat the pork meat, but give me the soup. I will eat eba with the soup. He ate eba with the soup of pork, but he didn't eat pork. So, but even as young as I was that time, I was but the flavor of pork will be in the sauce now. Yeah. But he maintained that, did I eat pork? Did I eat? I said, you didn't eat pork, but you ate the pot of the soup of pork.
Yes.
So that's what has happened to Tunde Bakare, whom I personally now label as Pastor Tunde Shakabula Bakare. Is Tunde Shakabula Bakare. He just talked anyhow, you know, like a dingon. He was referring to some people as rancorous elders of Yoruba. Like, he himself is cacophonous. If not rancorous, he's a Shakabula pastor, you know. So how will you promoted a person, you say you extolled him, that if not for his dexterity, if not for his something, he survived the onslaught, he won one state, he won second state. You ascribe the glory of this political movement to him alone, and you are saying, I'm not his brand manager. Who are you? I think it's that's my friend Sikiru, who ate the sauce of pork, but did not eat the pork. That's the situation.